morning students. This is Pinky Yadav as an English teacher at Suraj School Mahendragarh. So dear students, today we are going to learn about known finites. So students, known finites are those verbs which don't change their forms according to the number and person of the subject. Students, known finites are those verbs which don't change their forms according to the number and person of the subject are called known finites. For example, I want to play football. Next example, he wants to play football. They want to play football. These are the three examples in which I have used the same verbs. Here, want to play. In this sentence also, wants and to play, want to play. But every time, this verb is changing its form and it is the same form. It is not being changed. So the verbs which change their form according to the number or person of the subject is called finite verbs, and which don't change their forms are called known finite verbs. So here I is in plural form. So it is a subject verb concord, subject verb agreement. It is a rule that singular subject always takes singular verb and plural subject always takes plural verb. We have learnt in subject verb concord topic. So here here the subject is plural, so verb also I have used here in plural forms. Due to this singular subject, here I have used singular verbs, and due to the plural subject, again here plural verb. And this is the verb to play. In all the sentence I have used the same form. It has not been changed because due to the number or person of the subject. So it is called known finite verb. Next, so dear students, I think you know very well about the verbs. I am showing here verb chart, verb family. Verbs are divided into two parts. First, main verbs. Main verbs, you can say principal verb. And the other is auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb. Main verbs are divided into two parts. Main verbs are divided into two parts: finite and non-finite. And auxiliary are also further divided into two parts: primary auxiliary and the modal auxiliary. And finite verbs are divided into two parts. Finite verbs are divided into two parts. Those are transitive verbs transitive and intransitive. So like this, non-finites also are divided into parts. These are the three parts of non-finite verbs. First, infinitive. Second, gerund, and third one is the participle. So like these verbs, primary, auxiliary are divided into three parts. First is to do, to be, and to have. Modal auxiliaries, I mean to say all the modal are called modal auxiliaries. Just like can, could, shall, should, will, would, must, ought to, need, dare, must, might, may. These are the modal auxiliaries. So students, this is the verb family. This is the chart of verb. If I tell about the non-finite types, infinitive also are divided into two parts. It has two parts. So first, to infinitive. To infinitive, and second is bare infinitive. Bare infinitive. And gerund has no part, and participle is divided into three parts. The present participle, past participle, and the perfect participle. This is a verb chart which I have shown you. So students, non-finites are the verbs which we are going to learn today. And I am telling you about the types of non-finites. Non-finites, types of non-finites. First, the infinitive. The infinitive. Number two, the gerund, and number third, the participle. These are the types of non-finite verb. In the infinitive further is divided into two parts. First, to infinitive, and the other is bare infinitive. Dear students, these are the two parts of infinitive, and gerund has no parts. So to infinitive means 2 plus V1. Bare infinitive means V first without 2. And gerund has no types, no parts. It is formed by adding ing to V1 and works as a noun. Dear students, the infinitive also are formed by verb and works as a noun in the sentence. It works all the function of a noun which a noun does in a sentence. And gerund is also formed by verb and works as a noun in the sentence. V first plus ing and works as a noun in the sentence. It is called verbal noun. The infinitive also is called verbal noun as well as the gerund. The third one is the participle. Participle is divided into three parts, three types. The participle. If I define the participle, participle is a verbal adjective which is partly a verb or partly an adjective. It works in a sentence as an adjective as well as a verb. It has three types. First, the present participle. present participle. Number 2, the past participle. Number 3, the perfect participle. Perfect participle. These are the types of the participle. The present participle. The present participle is formed by adding ing to V1. It is formed by adding ing to V1 and it works in the sentence as an adjective. But it shows the action going on. It shows the action which is incomplete, which is going on at the time of speaking. Going on. The past participle is formed by V3. वर्ब की थर्ड फॉर्म से बनती है एंड इट वर्क्स एज एन एडजेक्टिव इन अ सेंटेंस. It is formed by V3 and works as an adjective in a sentence. It shows. The present participle shows the incomplete action and past participle express the finished work, completed, the work which had been completed, which has been completed. So the past participle shows the action which completed. It is formed by V3 and shows the action finished. And if we talk about the perfect participle means complete participle. It is also formed by verb and works as an adjective. It is partly verb and partly adjective, so it is formed by verb and works as an adjective in a sentence. But it is formed by putting having plus V3. It is formed by putting having plus V3 in the sentence. In such type of sentence, you will find two actions done by the same subject. You will find two actions done by the same subject. So, the action which completes first, you have to put perfect participle before that action. You have to put having plus V3 in the first action. So, it will be called perfect participle. So, dear students, these are the types of non-finite verbs. Now we will discuss about the uses of the infinitive, gerund and participle. When to use and how to use in sentence. First, bare infinitive. Bare infinitive means be first, without to. How to use and when to use in sentence. Number 1 point. After the modal verbs. After the modal verbs, we have to use or we will use bare infinitive. Modal verbs just like can, may, shall, etc. Can, could, may, might, shall, should, would, ought to, need, dare. These are the modal auxiliaries. But in these modal auxiliaries, there are two modal auxiliaries which takes to with them. Those are OUGHT, ought to and used to. These two modal auxiliaries always take to with them. Already ये अपने साथ रखते हैं to को. So, ought to and used to always are used with to infinitive, not bare infinitive. Example: I can solve this sum. It means I have ability to solve this sum. Can has been used here, and can is a modal verb. So after the can, I have used here we first. Modal verbs always takes we first, means bare infinitive. She should obey her teachers. Here should is modal auxiliary. So after the modal I have used obey, means bare infinitive, not to infinitive. So I mean to say all the modal auxiliaries take bare infinitive except ought to and used to. Yes, there is need and dare also. Need and dare. These are the such verbs which can be used as a main verbs as well as modal auxiliaries also. So these are also used as main verb. Next, number 2 point. After, but, except, and then. Dear students, if you find in the sentence but, except, and then also you have to use bare infinitive. These words always take bare infinitive in the sentence. For example, he does everything except play. He does everything except play. Except word has been used in the sentence. Due to this word, I have used here bare infinitive, not to infinitive, because we have read in the rule but, except, and then always take bare infinitive. If I give you another example, she did nothing but gossip. Students, she did nothing but gossip. उसने कुछ नहीं किया but gossip किया, बातें की उसने, गप्पे हाँके. So due to but I have used here bare infinitive. So dear students, like these examples, there are so many examples in which if you find but, except, then, you will use here bare infinitive. Just like I would rather die than beg, and so more. So on, there are so many examples. Next point, we have discussed this rule, and the third one is but, except, then. After this, had better. Had better, would rather, would sooner, etc. Would rather, would sooner, would better. These words always take bare infinitive with them. For example, had better, would rather, would sooner. Yes, you had better. You had better finish your work. Dear student, it is the example of had better. I have used here had better. You had better finish your work. And the second one, would rather. I would rather die than beg. So in this sentence, would rather has been used. So after would rather, I have used here die and beg. I have used here bare infinitive, not to infinitive. So these are the example of rule number 3. Next rule also we will discuss here. Next students, there are some verbs. some verbs which always take bare infinitive. These are the verbs let, make, help, see, bid, notice, watch, observe, feel, etc. So dear students, these are the verbs which always take bare infinitive when they are in active voice. When they are in active voice, we use bare infinitive with these verbs. For example, let him go there. In this I have used let. Next example, I will make you understand. So dear students, you say that I have used here in this sentence let. Due to let I have used here bare infinitive, and in this sentence make is a verb due to which I have used here bare infinitive. Understand, not to understand. So these are the example of these verbs. So now next we can give more example also in which we can use these verbs. See, I saw him go there, bid, he bade me go there. So like this, there are so many examples in which we can use all these verbs. When they are these verbs are found in active voice, we have to use bare infinitive. But if these verbs are found in passive voice, so we will use to infinitive. Further we will discuss in the when I will tell you the rules of to infinitive, then this rule also apply for the to infinitive. If these verbs are found in passive voice, we will use to infinitive. So next, students, I think you have understood all the verbs, all the rules which I have discussed here about bare infinitive. Next I am going to discuss the rules which are used for the to infinitive. To infinitive, when to use and how to use.